Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we have a car. If you need a true classic car and you want something very, very special, we just got it in a 1937 Packard. It is a coupe convertible and they call it a Roadster. Oh my gosh, it's got the V12 engine. Give you all the details in but a moment. Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, northern suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we're going to talk about one of our spectacular cars that we now have in inventory. One I have never actually seen floating around. There's so few of these were made. Under 70 of these were produced in 1937. It is a V12 Packard and it is a convertible Coupe Roadster. I'll talk about a rare automobile and a car done to the nines. I mean, you are going to want to watch this entire video from start to finish because it'll give you all the great details of this truly remarkable piece of art, is what I would actually call it. And you can also click on the link if you want to get all the information on it and look at all of our cars at www.ellingsonmotorcars.com. It will have the pricing and information on this car and our other over 100 cars we currently have in inventory, from 1920s cars to 1980s and beyond. So if you're looking for your first or your 100th classic or collectible vehicle, odds are Ellingson Motorcars probably has it sitting on the sales floor. As I said, in 1937, Packard was still trying to continue to do their luxury automobiles, and they were doing quite well actually. And the race at that time was for the bigger V12s, the V16s, those bigger motor. That was an important thing. You know, a muscle car race back in the 30s, you wouldn't even think of that. But yes, it was one of those things that you actually needed a little bit more horsepower, torque, whatever, to move this car down the road. Now it does have the 473 V12 in it. What a unique motor. You have to look at the pictures. That's why you want to watch all the video, look at all the pictures. It is such a pretty engine, very well put together. And rumor was, I said, this thing was actually faster than the Marmon and the Cadillac V16s. Somewhere I read that someplace, that the Packard was that special. It is one of those cars that just is so stellar. As I said, under 70 of them made. It's done in copper metallic, beautiful paint. Love all the details on these cars. The hood ornament is just, the CARavan is just always really special, and you know it's a Packard coming down the road. The other thing that I always think is so cool, because if it's a Packard 8 or is it a whatever model, boy, it tells you right there, it says Packard 12. You know, ooh, this is a serious automobile for a serious person back in the day. I mean, this car cost many, many thousands of dollars more than what the average person made for wages for an entire year. Just one of those cars. Again, remember, in these days, they didn't have power steering, didn't have power brake. You relied on a big steering wheel and a very strong driver going down the road. And this, of course, the vent is your air conditioning. Of course, a convertible is a little different. You can put the top down a little better. Beautiful. Car has options including the dual side mounts on this car with the mirrors in place. You know, everything is just done to the T's. The cover, everything is really, really nice. But take a look at the interior. I mean, it's like a mile looking down the hood when you're behind the wheel on this car. Beautiful walnut brown leather interior. You know, Packard, again, it was one of those really custom-made cars. They made probably a little over 1,300 total V12s. I mean, it was just a low production deal. It had to be someone with means that really wanted to have something special and set you above the crowd compared to everything else. Beautiful running boards as well. But I just love the interior. Packard always had such a neat instrument cluster with the chrome. All the gauges really gave you a real understanding of what your car was doing back in the day. 3-speed manual transmission. This car even has in the center thing a real radio. Oh my gosh, talk about something special. Now, in the back, it is also considered the basically the 4 passengers simply because they had the mother-in-law seat, or well, the rumble seat as some of us called it, where it's in the back. It's really, really a neat leather. I mean, you get back, what a great place to ride. I gave my friend one time, she was 90 years old, said she hadn't been in a rumble seat since she was a little girl, got in a rumble and said, that is just such a cool place to ride. No, this is one of those cars, it's kind of a car that you probably were kind of a sporty kind of individual, you know, compared to a 4-door convertible sedan or whatnot. It really had a great look. Love the vent windows on this car as well. I'm just a fan of vent windows. If you've watched any of my other videos, I always talk about them. Just really is something special on this car. Luggage rack on the back. I mean, you do have a little bit of room in the back for stuff, but not a whole lot. That's why a lot of these cars had the luggage rack on there, and you get a trunk on there, and that's how you would go to traveling, if you will, put the stuff in the trunk. Well, I tell you what, it's one of these cars, you can find all of the information on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even now TikTok. You know, give us a comment, give us a like, subscribe. We appreciate it very much. You'll get all the information on this car, our current inventory, and as kind of as an added bonus, you'll see some of the cars that we've sold over the last several years as well. So you can look at all these really wonderful automobiles Ellingson Motorcars has had and currently does have in inventory right now. Well, this is one of those cars that almost warrants someone coming to take a look at it. I mean, yes, we like you to watch the video. We appreciate that much. And all the pictures, it's great. But this car is so spectacular, you're going to want to come in person to look at it. Now, we are open to the public Monday through Friday from 10 until 5 and Saturdays 10 to 4 as well. It's just, you know, sometimes if you're going to look at a car, this is a substantial investment car. This is a car that is really unique. They don't come available very often. I mean, I knew the individual who had this car, and he had it for many, many years, was a big collector of all the real true classics and whatever, and it's just, you know, they don't come available very often. Unfortunately, they might usually come in an estate situation or situations like that. But so if you're really looking for something that was exceptionally well restored, done to the right degree, everything about the car is just absolutely beautiful, you don't have to look any farther than Ellingson Motorcars right here in Rogers. Now, if you say, I live out of state, how would I get a car to my state? No problem. We can ship cars all over the United States all the time. Say, where do I get financing for a car like this? My local bank doesn't know anything about these. We have also several sources for you to reach out to them as well, that they can help you. And they understand the collector car market and the value of these true classics. It's just one of those things, I have to honestly say, I have not seen very many of these. Neither will you unless you go to Amelia Island or one of the big auctions or go to one of the big car shows, go to some of the prestigious museums as well, may even have one of these sitting on their floor. But unlike them, this is Ellingson Motorcars, and everything on our sales floor is for sale. So if you want to come on down, and you can give me a call. I'm at 763-428-7337, and I'd be happy to answer any and all questions you have about this car or any of our other cars in inventory. With that being said, I really appreciate you watching our videos. I just can't tell you enough how excited I am to have a car of this magnitude, this quality, this rarity sitting right on the sales floor, but it could be in your garage or in your collection as well. So thank you again for visiting EllingsonMotorcars.com, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.